Why is it so hard to understand finance? There's just so much information. There's so much information. There's so much terminology. We have different countries call things different things. We have different business types call things different things. So much language, multiple terms that all mean the same thing. What does your business sell? How does it create income? Well, income, we can substitute that term with revenue, with turnover, with sales. Why is it one and not the other? Why was it one at your previous business and it's a different term at this new business? So we've got the challenge of language, makes it difficult. The fact that we've got multiple variations of what we call things is another. We have a reasonably complex set of rules and structure, but what we don't explain to people is that there's then a whole load of subjectivity that we overlay. So the business is going to make choices about how it deals with recognizing certain costs. It's going to have subjective choices about even how it recognizes its revenue or its income. We don't explain that to people, so we don't give them the context. But the more that you hammer home the language, the more that you hammer home the differences in the language, the more that they understand the broad structure that we're operating to, and what are those things that we can be subjective with, starts to help people with that complexity. Then you have to think about not all businesses are the same, and business is constantly evolving. The opportunities that exist in the marketplace are constantly evolving. So how we do things, the introduction of the internet is an amazing thing. It's an amazing resource, but it also fundamentally changed who can do what business, where and how. And therefore, how that affects how we look at finance can be quite significant. So lots of information presented in a way that isn't necessarily particularly user-friendly to someone that doesn't really know what they're looking at. Lots of terminology, lots of interchangeable terminology, lots of words that sound actually very similar that mean different things. That's a big enough challenge in the first place. When you then overlay the fact that each individual business will have made its own choices, that adds another degree of complexity. And when you then overlay the fact that business is constantly evolving and what we do and how we do it and where we do it and when we do it, adds even greater degree of complexity. And when you put all that together, it just makes it a bit of a minefield. So ultimately, what I'm trying to do all the time is simplify, is make it more accessible and more understandable and break it down, and don't bamboozle people with the bits that they don't need to know.